Prime Minister Pham Minh Chinh chaired a conference with localities affected by Typhoon Yagi on September 15. The participants observed a 1-minute moment of silence to remember the victims who lost their lives due to the typhoon. The Prime Minister requested participants to propose tasks and solutions to quickly stabilize life, resume production and business activities, thus promoting economic growth. Since the super typhoon formed and entered the East Sea, the Politburo and the government have closely monitored developments to have prompt response. The Prime Minister issued 9 urgent dispatches directing the work of preventing, responding to, and overcoming the consequences of the typhoon. The forces, particularly the Army, police, and grassroots disaster response forces, have guided over 51,300 fishing boats and vehicles, transport ships operating at sea to leave dangerous areas or stay at safe shelters, evacuated and relocated over 74,500 households with 130,200 people in flood-prone areas to safe locations. The Army has mobilized over 438,200 personnel and 6,600 vehicles to respond to the typhoon, and an additional 107,900 personnel and 2,140 vehicles to address flooding, landslides, and flash floods. In addition, more than 150,000 police officers and soldiers have been deployed to assist in the response and recovery efforts following Typhoon Yagi. Local authorities, disaster response teams, youth organizations, and other groups have also been mobilized to implement response measures and manage the aftermath of the disaster. Statistics from localities show that as of 6 a.m. on September 15, heavy rains and floods, landslides triggered by Super Typhoon Yagi, one of the strongest to hit Vietnam in decades, had left 281 dead and 67 missing, and 1,921 injuries. Nearly 232,000 houses were damaged, over 190,000 hectares of rice fields, almost 48,000 hectares of crops and nearly 32,000 hectares of fruit trees were inundated and devastated. Nearly 3,270 fish farming cages were destroyed or swept away. Many shops, offices, and schools were unroofed and damaged. Numerous electricity and telecommunication poles and mobile network towers were toppled, and urban trees were uprooted or broken. The Prime Minister set the following priorities: ensuring no one lacks food, clothing, shelter, or clean water, promptly addressing the aftermath of Typhoon Yagi, stabilizing affected communities, restoring production and business, controlling inflation while aiming for 7% economic growth,